Another example that I have for you that might shorten or move up your project's finish date is by dividing a task. For example, I've got my write content task, and right now it takes a total of 16 days to complete. Over here in the Gantt chart you can see that I've got my resources, Writer 1 and Writer 2, assigned to it. Well, let's say after having a meeting with them I've come to find out that there's a total of 10 lessons, and Writer 1 tells me he's an expert on the first 5 and Writer 2 is an expert on the last, or lessons 6 through 10. So what if I go ahead and divide this into 2 tasks? Writer 1 of course works on the first 5 lessons, and then Writer 2, the second task, works on his. Now think about this for a second. Does Writer 1 need to finish or complete his first 5 lessons before Writer 2 can start his last 5, or lessons 6 through 10? Well, maybe. I mean, if there's something that's connecting them all, but if not, then I can go ahead and have them both start their task at the same time. So where it takes 16 days to complete all of it, if I can have Writer 1 write his first 5 lessons in 8 days, and then on the second task, lessons 6 through 10, have Writer 2 work on that for 8 days, and again starting at the same time, they'll both finish at the same time within 8 days, thereby cutting back the duration of when the task will be completed because I broke it down into 2 tasks, or 2 smaller tasks. Let me show you what I mean. I'm going to come over here, and for the original task I'm going to type in writing lessons 1 through 5. Of course that's for Writer 1. Now I need the second task to write lessons 6 through 10. Now remember, when it comes to inserting a new task, select the task that you want to insert the new task above, and either go ahead and right click on its row header to new task, or let me hit undo. Again, you can select it and hit the insert key on the keyboard, and it'll push that task down and all its successors as well. So let me go ahead and type in okay, writing lessons 6 through 10. Need to make some changes here. Writing lessons 1 through 5 has 2 writers on it. It's only supposed to be Writer 1 because he's the expert on the first 5 lessons. So I can come up here, click on the 2 dudes, select Writer 2 and remove him from it, and then close out. And then of course, because it was effort driven, originally it was 32 days, and then when I assigned Writer 2 it cut it down to 16, but now that I removed him it went back to 32. Well, let's go ahead and change that. Remember, we're dividing the 16 days between the 2, so Writer 1 is going to take 8 days to write lessons 1 through 5. I'm going to go ahead and type in 8 and hit enter. Anytime you add a new task is 1 day. Of course, we'll change that to 8 and hit enter. Now, did it move up the project's finish date? No. Why? Because by default, anytime you insert in a new task, it's going to have a finish to start relationship. In other words, the predecessor has to finish before this task can start. So I need to change the relationship so they both basically start at the same time. And you can change that relationship one of 2 ways. You can either double click on the link between the 2 tasks, as you see here, click on the drop down arrow, which is the easiest unless you really have a hard time getting your pointer there, or on the successor, double click on it, go to the predecessors tab, then click on the type and change its relationship, click on the drop down arrow to start, click OK. And again, the predecessor must start before this task can start. So even if it's by just a second or a minute, I mean, they're basically both starting at the same time. And then finally, I need to assign Writer 2 to the task here. Select the task, come up, click on the 2 dudes, scroll down. There's Writer 2, click Assign, close out, and we're finished. And then notice we went from September 30th as our project's finish date to September the 18th. Having figured this out, this has saved my company time and money. And then of course, when this task is completed here, both of them at the same time will be finished. We go to the proofread task, and you could say Editor 1 is going to check Writer 1's work, and then Editor 2 is Writer 2's work there. Thanks for watching. Hey, as a quick reminder, if you like my video, please give it a thumbs up. You can also click on me and subscribe to my channel, get notified of the latest videos, and for only $2 a month, you can have access to all my Microsoft Office training videos.